So what is it like to work on a big old yacht for rich people? Is it an awesome life? How long could you do it? Is it a young person's game? Do you get tired of it super quick? Being on a big old yacht, because the person I was talking to, the boat's super big and it's super awesome and it's super cool and they go to super awesome places and it sounds like a lot of fun. And then, they go to different interesting ports and they go party.
It's work, though. I mean, they are working and they don't get a lot of sleep. And then if they're on the crew and then some of the crew gets fired, like the people that are there have to just pick up the slack.
Okay. Yeah, Lily said in the chat room, the laundry person has it the worst. I think the person I was talking to, they said on that boat, I think they rotated a lot of the chores. So you weren't stuck. So one person would clean here or clean that part. One person would do laundry one day. And so it kind of rotates. So if you did get something that you hated like that, you weren't stuck in the terrible, what was considered the worst job.
On Below Deck, there's a hierarchy.
Okay.
So it's always like you have a rank, just like in the military. Mm-hmm. And you have a position in that rank. And damn, they leave the laundry girl, the third girl, she is just in the laundry room. She doesn't leave.
Oh, somebody texted in. They said, Virginia is wrong. You do not pick your roommate, and they do not look for couples to save on space. I don't know. Maybe that's a Below Deck thing.
On Below Deck, they definitely picked their roommates, and people shuffled around. They did. I saw it happen.
Somebody texted in and said, yeah, I used to date one of the people that was on Below Deck, and everything, absolutely everything on the show is scripted. I dated the chef on season 5, and everything is scripted on the show.
Really?
Do you believe that? Yeah.
It just looks so real.
Oh, you were faked by another reality show? It's not a reality show, Virginia?
I just figured it was real. Are they sure?
It looks pretty legit to me.
Below Deck looked so real. Damn, they got me again.
You still, honestly, you're in this day and age, you really believe that reality shows are real?
I just believe.
Wow. Another person texted in and said, yeah, I was a chief stew on a super yacht.
That's like the one in charge, like below the captain, of course, but like you're high ranking if you're a chief stew. You're impressive.
Okay, it says, I'm British but live here in Florida. My husband is still a captain. I can tell you everything you want to know about working on yachts. Okay, we got to get hold of Stephanie.
Yeah, get Stephanie on.
And Melissa said a lot of the Below Deck people live in Fort Lauderdale and West Palm Beach because it's easy to get jobs. Chef Ben and Captain Lee live in Fort Lauderdale.
Oh.
Follow their Insta. Okay, very cool. Mm-hmm. I saw some of these nautical superstitions. Did they teach you this in Below Deck? You're supposed to never rename a boat.
I've heard that. Yes, it's bad luck.
So if you're buying a boat, you're stuck with the name, and if it's a stupid name, you'd be like, it's a great boat, but it's a dumb name. That's crazy. They say never name a boat after one that sank.
Okay, that makes sense.
Never leave for a fishing trip on a Friday.
Really?
You heard that?
No.
There's no whistling because it causes storms. Come on now.
There's no bananas. I know that.
Yeah, they said you can't, it's bad luck to bring bananas on a fishing trip.
Do not bring bananas. You will get yelled at.
No way.
Yes, I've seen that happen. I saw a captain read a guy up and down for trying to bring bananas.
Dang. All right. Well, apparently we need to get Stephanie on to get some of our questions.
I would love to talk to Stephanie. It seems like a fascinating life for a young person or a person with no kids or a person in really good shape. I mean, it seems like it's physically and mentally taxing.
Stephanie, she texted in. She used to be a chief stew.
Oh, that's a high rank.
Okay. Her husband is still a captain.
Oh.
How did you get into that line of work, Stephanie?
Hi, yeah, so I ended up working on cruise ships first, and then I met a fellow crewmate on cruise ships, and he told me about yachting. So I researched it, did some courses, and then flew over to Florida and then started my journey. I was in yachting for about 10, 12 years.
Okay. What is the biggest boat you ever worked on?
Oh, I was actually on the average size boat, which is probably quite big for most people. So that's about a 50-meter, 146-foot yacht.
Wow, that's still a big boat.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. That's the usual size that they have on Below Deck as Virginia's favorite show.
I love that show so much. Do you ever watch Below Deck?
I can't watch it. I tried watching it once, and it was just, it's all scripted, and half the
Damn it!
didn't actually work it.
Virginia can't get over the fact this show is so scripted.
It looks so real to me.
What?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a lot of real things in it, like all the positions of the crew and stuff, and all the charter guests. Sometimes they can be quite demanding and things like that. But you know, giving a big wad of cash from the charter guests at the end of the charter to the captain in front of everybody, that doesn't happen. I think I watched the only small bit that I watched was the chef sliced his finger off, and then the chief stew brought him into the main salon with blood everywhere. That wouldn't happen.
Oh.
There was that one third stew put a mermaid tail on, and she was flapping about in the surf on the beach or something. Did you see that one?
Come on, Virginia. Come on. You think they just do that?
Well, the guests wanted them to, so they had to.
Yeah, oh, they had to, huh? Yeah, just because the guest said to, you got to do dumb things like that?
I don't think the guests requested that, but anyway.
How much money?
Things I can't watch.
How much money do you typically make on a super yacht starting off, Stephanie?
Well, I'm not obviously working on yachts anymore. I started working on a private yacht, which is only the owner that uses the yacht, and then on Below Deck they do charter.
Okay.
So it's usually a good 20% on how much the yacht costs for the week. So that will vary depending on the location. Mediterranean is more expensive than American, but you could you could make up to minimum. I think I earned for a week's charter was $500, and the maximum is probably $1,500.
Okay. And how long is it an awesome job for? I mean, I assume it's fun for a while at least, right?
Every job has its ups and downs.
Mm-hmm.
The downs is when you're on a very busy boat, you don't have much time off at all.
Okay.
You work very long hours. It's quite exhausting. But the upsides of it is when you don't have guests on board, you're in these glorious places around the world.
Mm-hmm.
For example, I was in New York City for a while, so I would wake up in the morning without guests on board, look out my window and see the Statue of Liberty. You'd have to be
That's
a millionaire to be able to have that view first thing in the morning.
Right.
Or if you were in the Mediterranean on the south of France, and, you know, there's definitely highlights and lowlights of the job.
What is the best job on a super yacht? What's the worst job?
That depends. I was a chief stew for about 6 or 7 years, so I was in charge of the interior. I was kind of like the face of the vessel, so I used to talk to the guests about what dinner is and the itinerary with the captain. So that's got quite a lot of responsibility. I wouldn't necessarily say there was a worst job and a best job. Obviously, there's ranking. Like Virginia said earlier, there is definitely ranking. So in the interior, you'd have chief stew, second stew, third stew.
Mm-hmm.
Exterior, you'd have first mate, bosun, deckhand. So obviously,
Gotcha.
the lower ranking would have the worse the jobs to do.
Right. And is it true that everybody on the crew is pretty much hooking up with each other on super yachts?
That does happen a lot, yes. So that is something that does happen on Below Deck.
I mean,
So,
that's the best part of Below Deck, if we can be honest.
Well, yeah. So I actually knew a friend of a friend who had a crew member on Below Deck who applied to be on the show, and he was told when he got the job that, oh, you'll have to sleep with the second stew or something. And he goes, oh, I have a girlfriend. Oh, well, that doesn't matter.
Wow. Wow. Good stuff. Stephanie, thank you so much for answering our questions.
Of course. You're welcome.
Okay.
I still believe it's real.
I know you do, Virginia. You still believe the Kardashians is real. Every Real Housewives is real.
It's just so good.
Because it has real in the title.
I mean, yeah, I just
Yeah.
believe.
Uh-huh.
I want to believe too much.